Okay, we're out here at
Wilhelmina Lake.
Wilhelmina Lake, yeah. I was going to say Queen Wilhelmina Lake, but I guess they don't put that on there, do they?
No, not unless you're up there.
Not unless you're up there. And I'm talking with Tom Young. Tell us a little bit about the kind of work you do, Tom. It's pretty exciting.
I'm a rehabilitator, and that means that I take injured and orphaned animals, and I try and get them, when people bring them in or find them hurt or injured, I try and get them repaired to where we can release them back into the wild. I've raised 11 bears, and some of those we've got released back out to the wild for the Game and Fish Commission, and they bring me hawks and owls and eagles and things, and we try and get those fixed up so we can release them back to the wild.
Okay, where exactly do you do this?
I do it on top of Queen Wilhelmina State Park.
Right behind us, isn't it?
Right behind us, on top of the state park at the Arkansas Native Plant and Wildlife Center is the new name of the business, and we're a nonprofit organization based on breeding, education, and rehabilitation.
And you, talking to you here a little bit ago, I said you've been bringing these around to some of the schools and showing the kids?
We hit about 6 schools today, and well, I think we made a big impact on a lot of kids that have never seen an eagle up really close, got a chance to see a bald eagle today.
Okay, we haven't specifically said that, but that's why we're here today.
That's why
Tell us why we're here today.
We're here today to release a bald eagle that came in 13 days ago. It was very, very sick and had a broken wing. And I got the wing patched up and got the sickness cured.
Now, tell us about the sickness. It was kind of an unusual.
It's kind of an unusual sickness. Bald eagles and all birds of prey eat meat, only meat. And if they find something dead, they will on occasion eat carrion if they're really hungry. Well, if they eat meat, they can tell if it's spoiled or not. So they won't generally eat spoiled meat because they can taste it and tell. But if it's just at that point, they'll eat it sometimes, and it spoils the minute it hits in their craw. And when it does that, it's basically a really bad stomach ache, and that probably is what initially brought the bird down, and probably crashing down is when it broke its radial arm, is what it's called. There's 2 bones in the wing
just like
here.
in people's arm,
just like in people's, there's 2, and the ulna's bigger, and the radius is a smaller bone, and since it was broken, not the ulna, there's still a lot of strength there bearing on that, so it required just very little, just time to sit back and heal.
That's that nasty little bone you're eating chicken, the little skinny thing
that's
in the chicken wing.
That's the one in the chicken wing that you have to separate out, and it's a little small bone, and it mainly gives the flight characteristic to that wing. It's made to shape for an airfoil for that wing, but it will heal all on its own as it did, and it generally takes about 4 days. They heal on a lot quicker basis than we do.
You don't have to walk around with a cast for 6 weeks.
They've got it made, and since their bones are hollow, they get a better set. It'll never break in that spot again. It'll be stronger now than it ever was in that radial arm. And she's ready to go. It's a big adult, but you know they're an adult when they have the white head and the white tail, because they don't get that until they're 5 years old or older. So she's an adult, and she is probably a pretty old bird. I can tell by her attitude. I've had
you keep saying her. You can sex them. Huh?
You can sex them by size. All birds of prey, the females are 1/3 larger than males, and she's 16 pounds with an 8-foot wingspan, so she's definitely a female.
And how can you tell that she's ready to fly? You got enough room in your cage to let her fly a little?
I can tell by feeling that bone in that radial arm, and
she's got, let me out of here.
She has a little habit. She will reach up and she'll slap you with those wings. And when she started slapping me with the one that was bad, I knew it was getting close to ready. So you can tell by how aggressive they're getting when they're ready to go. They let you know you're about ready to turn them loose at the same time they're ready to go. So
have you got any insight on what was happening out at the Gray Lake some time ago, where they had a lot of?
Well, see, I worked as interpreter on the Gray Lake when those eagles started dying, and I was a rehabber then too. I've been a rehabber for about 13 years here in Arkansas. So I came into that in the very beginning, and I was the first one that worked on those birds. And it is a disease, they're calling it now, and they can't find the biological factor that's causing it to happen. But I lost 18 eagles within 3 weeks' time on that, and it's a bad disease. It takes them out.
Has the disease kind of moved on now? It's kind of stopped?
It seems to have stopped. It appears to have some kind of influence with the rise and the fall of the lake. It seems like it gets worse the years that they drop the lake. And see, the eagles feed on coots, which is a duck-like bird that feeds off of the bottom. And there's a lot of minerals, and anything that would cause a problem is in that mud. And the coots that eat it, there can be 5,000 coots out there, and if a coot picks up something he's not supposed to, an eagle, he can fly over that flock, and he'll pick out that one coot that's got a disability, and he'll take him. Well, if he eats 2 or 3 like that, see, then he's got a real heavy concentration of whatever that is in his system. But they can't find one at just that right time to where he's freshly down with it, where they can study him to see, what's going on. They're always, it's been a couple of days, and it's deteriorated, that chemical, whatever's affecting them. And if they could catch one at just the right time, they could probably pinpoint exactly what's going on with that. So it's probably just a matter of time until that happens.
Now, a lot of people that are watching this are probably saying, well, you know, gee, that's great. We've got this rehabilitation center. Does this mean now you want them to bring in all their sparrows and things that they find falling out of nests and robins and things like that?
Well, I try to concentrate on mostly endangered and protected species, but I do squirrels and songbirds and anything that anybody would have a problem with. I do, but in the spring, you know, that means that sometimes I have way more animals than I have man-hours, so I don't really need them necessarily to bring me anything that they find, and songbirds are good parents. And generally, even if a bird falls out of a nest, you know, it's an old wives' tale that if you touch it, they won't come back. That's not true. You can put a bird back in its nest, and birds are good parents, and they will continue to raise it if you can do that. So you can save rehabbers a lot of times, just by
just put the bird back
or leave it there. A lot of times it's the best thing.
Okay.
You can tell if a bird's not injured, even if he's on the ground, doesn't necessarily mean he's in jeopardy. You know, if he has an obvious injury, then something needs to be done because they don't generally last long on the ground. Predators and things take them out.
What about things like possums and raccoons and all that kind of stuff?
I do all that, and over my career, I've rehabbed everything that occurs naturally in the state of Arkansas at one time or another. And I get a lot of help with that from my wife. I like to do the predator things, and I send the sparrows and things her way.
Okay.
But she does really good with that, and so we never turn anything down.
Get it from the bottom at first. Ready?
Better photo quick, because we're going to cut her loose in just a minute. Sorry.
It's going to be hard to get her to sit here for
Long, and she can obviously fly because she about picked me up right then. So, she might sit there for 5 minutes. Well, you're going to have to walk around then.
Let me get you three together just 1 second here. Where's Philip at?
You don't need to get this. That hurts. And that doesn't hurt. It does now. Remember, they crash at 100 miles an hour into the lake to catch fish. So. Let's
He got it. Don't let him go.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah!
I'm going that way.
She's great, so she can try.
Plenty long, it looks like.
She can go.